In this episode, the Lamborghini Aventador's successor is here, a redesigned Hyundai Sonata, and some diesel off-roaders. Welcome to episode 197 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell. I think it was last week, a couple episodes ago. Remember how I got my license updated?
Yeah, you got your license renewed.
Well, the other automotive thing that needed to be renewed on a timely basis is also happening. My registration.
Oh, did you get a new custom plate?
I did not. I have plain old Florida. Just got the citrus on there.
You didn't get one that said, like, slow BRZ or fast BRZ?
No.
Race car?
No.
No?
Would you customize the plate? You know how you can customize the background? Not the letters, but the background. Would you ever do that?
I actually am considering doing it now.
Okay.
Florida came out with a new plate. It's black and has a yellow flag on it. It's the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me.
Oh, boy.
We actually have that as a plate, and I think I'm going to spend the $30 to get it because, God damn it, it looks cool as hell.
All right. You could be that guy. You could be that rebel. I like it.
Damn right.
Let's
on a Volkswagen, yes.
Don't tread on my German car.
You're damn right. What's always funny to me is when I'm driving around, I'll see people that you just got your registration renewed.
Right.
I see people driving around with registrations and their little stickers on their license plates from like 2021, 2020. I'm like, God damn. How are you not getting pulled over at every street corner?
I don't know, to be
like,
honest.
Jeez.
I guess they're just lucky.
I mean, do you ever do that when you're at a light? You just kind of like look over and you see the registration sticker and you're like, that says 11 of 2019.
It's shocking how often it happens.
It's every day.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah. It's probably like 5% of cars out there. Like, it's a lot.
And it's not even like it's like a month out of date.
No, it's
like,
years.
Yeah, it's like April. Oh, shit, they forgot to do it in March. Like, it is what it is. Everyone forgets. But like 2020, 2021, like, bro, that's 2 or 3 years ago.
Right. Somehow they're just getting away with it. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. But let's get into some news, starting with a Lamborghini. Yes, the replacement for the Aventador is here.
Oh.
Yes. It is the 2024 Lamborghini, I'm going to butcher this, but I think it's the Revuelto?
Okay.
Maybe it's a rolled R. Revuelto, something like that.
Italian words?
It's actually Spanish for something or another, which I'll find out in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Spanish for scrambled.
What?
It's a scrambled Aventador.
Huh.
They scrambled it.
That's odd, Lamborghini.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, yeah, it's the replacement for the Aventador. We have known for a long time the replacement for the Aventador was going hybrid.
Yes.
This is not new news. This is old news. We knew this was happening, but we didn't know how hybridish it was going.
Okay.
Was it going like mostly electric with a little bit of combustion, or mostly combustion with a little bit of electric?
Or full hydrogen?
Full pasta.
No.
So full raging bull semen.
Jesus. No.
That'd be the most expensive fuel in the world.
Yeah, that is super expensive or something like that.
Like $1,000 a gallon.
What did they actually do with this for the hybrid?
So they kept that same 6.5 liter V12 out of the Aventador, which they've cranked it up a little bit, made more power, but they've given it some small hybridish stuff. Smallish in relation to the rest of it. So it gets a tri-motor plug-in hybrid battery electric motor thing. You get 2 electric motors on the front axle, which give you the torque vectoring mumbo jumbo.
Cool.
But then they put the third motor, it's like integrated into the dual clutch 8-speed transmission.
Interesting.
Which is actually very odd because the previous Aventador was not dual clutch, it was single clutch, which is why it was so brutal.
Okay. The shifting was brutal.
Yeah, everyone that drove an Aventador always had the same thought. It is the most menace, brutal, vicious, horrible shifting thing ever.
Right.
So now it's got a double clutch 8-speed with an electric motor integrated into the actual gearbox.
That's an odd place to put it. I've heard of people putting it right after the gearbox, but not integrated in. That is interesting. I wonder if it's integrated in before the gearbox or integrated into the middle or after, because it depends, right? The gear ratios mess with how that whole system works, depending on where you place the motor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is odd. The battery pack itself is 3.8 kilowatt hour worth of battery pack.
That's tiny.
It's not big. I know.
No, a Tesla's like 70 kilowatt hour. Like
I know.
most full EVs are like 70. That's 3?
Well, almost 4.
Okay, irrelevant.
So the funny thing is, it's mostly V12 with a bit of hybrid, versus mostly hybrid with a bit of V12.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it only makes a peak amount of horsepower of 187 worth of horsepower is between the electric motors.
It's very small on the electric side.
Yes, but when you add that with that cranked up 6.5 liter V12, you get a grand total of 1,001 horsepowers.
Whoa. Okay, that's more than I thought by a lot.
Oh.
By a whole lot.
Oh. Yes, It is. It's many horsepowers.
1,001 is a ton of horsepower in this car. The old one was 700, something like that. I don't think it was anywhere near 1,000.
7
and change.
7 and change.
I think so.
I believe
1,000 is kind of absurd for this car.
Yes, but to counter that, it's a Lamborghini.
Yes.
So then it's totally correct.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Lamborghini as a brand is absurdity.
Right. It's crazy Italian.
Yes.
You want it to be as crazy as possible.
Put guns on it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it orange and shoot flames.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it looks like a crazy Italian?
I'm glad you said that. Because let's get into the looks.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Lambo.
It does.
It's low. It's wide. It's wedgy. It's got a big old booty. It's got those like kind of side profiles of like Blade, right?
Right.
It's Lamborghini shaped.
I agree.
Is it wild enough to replace the Aventador? Does it look absurd enough to be a proper successor to the Aventador?
My opinion, it's not absurd enough.
I'm glad you said that because I agree. I like it. It does look Lamborghini-ish, right?
Yes.
It's got Lamborghini qualities. But when the Aventador first came out, it was so wild looking.
Yep.
Like it was just so out there and brash and exciting and exotic looking and just like all of the things. Like it first came out and it was just the craziest, widest, loudest thing that's ever existed.
Maybe this is because we just have seen enough Aventadors nowadays. For example, here's what the old car looked like.
The Ultime. So that's the newest Aventador as well.
Okay, still. Yeah. There's something about the new one that seems to be not quite as aggressive. I like the front. I like what they've done with like the headlights, the running along the edge.
I do too, but it looks too much like a Huracan.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Sorry to take that.
You're spot on. I don't think it's edgy, crazy enough to be the Aventador. And what will happen? Well, the Huracan will stay as the Huracan. The successor to the Huracan will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it. I do like it overall. I think it looks neat. You will not mistake it for any other car, which was the goal.
Is it a Honda Civic?
No.
Are you sure?
It's always going to be a Lambo from the side, from the front, from the back. Well, the back's a little weird, but
I think the back is the correct amount of aggressive.
Yeah.
The correct amount of angles. The correct amount of... Is it the prettiest thing? No, but no Lamborghini is ever the prettiest thing.
No.
Because there's a difference between pretty and insane.
Yes.
Right? Like, pretty is an Aston Martin DBS. That's pretty. A Lamborghini is never pretty. It's wild.
It's crazy.
It's
nuts.
untamed.
Yeah. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it sounds like. That's what all the interior looks like and feels like. It's supposed to be a plane meets a rocket ship meets a crazy Italian woman.
Yep.
It's great.
I totally agree. By the way, if you go back to the previous slide, you know what vibes I'm getting from this particular picture? This very picture. Ooh, I don't know how I'm going to say this. C8 Corvette vibes.
Ooh, I
See
see it.
Ooh.
I see it right in front of the rear tire. I see it.
In
You're
front of and above the rear tire.
You're right.
Everything else is Lamborghini, but that sliver between door to rear tire to roof, that quarter panel there, just...
Yep.
I didn't get it until bang, right there. And then all of a sudden it went, is this a C8?
This is the most efficient, effective layout for the current iteration of what we know as the internal combustion engine car.
Yeah.
It just is. Lamborghini's always had it. C8 recently moved to it. And I think that's the right layout for this car. I just wish it was a little more edgy, a little more wild, but it's still a Lamborghini.
It is, but now is the interior, which we're looking at, is that Lamborghini-ish enough? Because it's gone practical.
It does seem a bit more practical.
Inside, you have more headroom, more elbow space, but most importantly for us in the U.S. market, you get cup holders. Should you have cup holders in a Lamborghini?
Should you have nice life amenities in your $300,000 crazy Italian sports car?
No. You should have your wife for the amenities. I'm going to get flamed for saying this, but if you want a cup holder, put your wife in the passenger seat and say, hold my drink.
Man, that's a bold move.
I'm an asshole. I understand that.
You won't keep the wife for long.
No, you will. You have a Lamborghini. You'll keep her as long as she wants to be with the man that has.
You go through them. You
I see.
You sequentially go through them. Yes.
So the owner of the Lamborghini Revuelto goes, I have one cup holder. She has two hands. I get two cups. I now want another.
No, she...
So do you put two wives together and you get four cup holders?
She moves on because you're crazy and you have a Lambo and you're making her hold the drinks the whole time. She moves on from you, but you can find another one because you have a Lamborghini and you have the money to find another one. You're going through them sequentially. Yes. It's a terrible thing to say. So
we're saying that women are being objectified not for their looks, but for their ability to be a cup holder inside of a Lamborghini.
To be the Lamborghini passenger.
My, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah. We should move on from that.
We definitely should, because we're going to offend all of the internet. Okay.
I think this car should have cup holders. I see your point that it shouldn't because it's a crazy Italian sports car. But if you owned it, you would want cup holders. You would damn well want cup holders.
You're probably right.
You cannot tell me you wouldn't. And your wife would really want cup holders.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right. So going back to some driving stuff with this car. Typically in a Lamborghini, you get three driving modes. You get Strada, Sport, and Corsa. Corsa being like the track driving mode where all of everything gets turned off and it like actually properly gets turned off. So if you give it too much, you just die. This, you get a fourth driving mode. You do. I'm going to butcher what it's called because it's in Italian and I can't speak Italian.
Please be rally. Please be rally. Like the Urus. Please be rally.
It's going to be something that you actually enjoy much more. It's called Sitta.
What's that?
EV only.
Oh, I did not see that coming. Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So would you like to silently drive in your Lamborghini?
No.
That's not the point of it. Just today, I was driving downtown, and a Lamborghini Aventador went screaming, again, downtown, screaming by me. And I thought, that that's the whole point for a Lamborghini.
Right. Full EV mode in a Lambo. Man, I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, it's coming, isn't it?
It's now here.
And you can go a total of 7 miles because
Close.
you have
They
3
estimate
kilowatt hours?
just shy of 6. the most practical EV-only driving mode you can find. Where would you like to drive to? Just the end of the driveway and back.
Oh no. Really?
That's useful.
Oh. Okay, another question I have. I don't know if you know the answer to this. Does this charge via an EV charge?
It's plug-in hybrid, yes.
Okay. So you could go to the Tesla supercharger, in theory, the ones that have the whole CCS adapter thingamajiggy.
Yeah, the universal.
Right. And you could plug in your Lamborghini.
Yes, and then you could silently drive away for about 5.5 miles.
Right. And then just full Lamborghini.
Yes.
Yeah. Huh. That is really weird.
That's useful.
So this car was them dabbling their toe in the EV water. Just the pinky toe in the EV water for this specific type of car, right?
It's ridiculous.
Huh.
So with this electricity being pumped into it, they are claiming that this is the fastest Lamborghini ever built.
Oh, here we go.
0 to 60 in claimed 2.5 seconds. Where it should be.
Is that with or without rollout?
Mm-hmm.
It's with rollout. It's
Of course
with
it's with
rollout.
They're all with rollout.
Yeah.
But that's not the staggering figure. That's quick. Yes, we know that. But
Yes.
but every Tesla in the world does about that anyway.
Right.
The 0 to 124 miles per hour.
Okay.
Now, that's a figure that's a bit more insane.
That'll matter on a racetrack.
7 seconds.
That's fast.
Oh, pardon me. Under 7 seconds.
Okay.
So like 6.9 seconds.
That's fast. That's very fast.
That's Bugatti Chiron territory.
Yeah. That's scary fast.
Like the Bugatti Chiron is 6.5 seconds, 0 to 124.
This thing would be a monster on a racetrack.
The 0 to 60 is fine. That competes with everything else. But the 0 to 124...
So second, third, and fourth, rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pull hard.
They're just gone like the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
That's what this car should be. It shouldn't be the 1.9 Tesla Model S Plaid thing. It should be you get it moving, and then you stand in it, and you listen to it hum, and you go to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yes, launch yourself to the stratosphere in the Revuelto.
Right, but you start rolling at 10 to 20 miles an hour, and then you go to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. They don't have an official price listed yet, but expect it to be well over $500,000.
Really?
The outgoing Aventador is over $500,000 at this point.
You're right. You're right about that.
The Aventador Ultime is over $500,000. So why would this be any less?
You're right.
Realistically, I've seen figures all over the internet that are, some are like 450, some are like $1 million. They're all over the place. I've seen some 890. I say call it 700 and see what happens.
Yeah, 750. Do you know if it has the hybrid regenerative braking stuff? Did you see that anywhere?
I didn't see that anywhere. Oh, yeah, pardon me. Yes, it does have the regenerative braking. That's built into the 2 electric motors that are on the front axle.
What I was worried about or wondering about is in EVs like this, you don't want the battery to ever get to 0%. It's not good. It's not healthy for it to be at 100. It's not healthy for it to be at 0. So what the manufacturers generally do is build in the recharge, right, the hybrid recharge, so that it will sit, even if the person who drove the car didn't actually take it to the supercharger or bring it to anywhere and plug it in anywhere. Because let's be real, the people who buy this car probably won't plug it in a lot. They
No.
just won't. No one cares about the hybrid part of this car.
Correct.
They will just drive it around town as a Lambo, which is fine. That's how it should be.
Yep.
But what I don't want to see happen is them deplete the battery to zero and not be able to recharge it. So it sounds like the car itself will be able to recharge the battery to the 10-15% where it'll sit at, but be okay for the health of the battery.
Yeah, those two electric motors on the front axle do the torque vectoring and the regen braking.
Okay. Good. Neat
So,
car.
Yeah, that's the new Revuelto. Like I said, there's no official price, but they're all sold out for the next 2 years.
Okay. Next question then. Do you think that 2 years later they do the next version of this car? It won't even be in 2 years. It'll be 10 years, something like that. Will the next version of this car be full EV?
No. I don't think so, because I think what's going to happen is people will buy this car and then they'll realize the EV part of this is great, but I really like this car for the V12.
Yeah.
And I think Lamborghini's going to listen to that and go, huh. So if we kill off the V12, are we going to kill off a lot of our customer base?
Here's what I see happening. It going from the V12 to the V10 to the V8 to like a, God forbid, a 4-cylinder or something like that.
Like Mercedes with the AMG.
Right. It's going to incrementally get smaller engines, and the battery will start to take more and more percentage of the driving, but they'll keep an internal combustion in the car for as long as they can, just for the sound, I think. And I think that they'll keep the sound as the Lamborghini sound for as long as possible, because who doesn't love it?
It's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe what they'll do is instead of going to a smaller amount of cylinders, maybe a smaller displacement, they'll keep V12, but instead of a 6.5 liter, go to a 4 liter V12 or something.
No, we're down to like 1.5 liter V12s, just tiny little pistons.
Screaming at the top of its
A
lungs.
super high pitched old F1 engine sound.
That would just be nuts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the new Revuelto.
Neat car.
Very. Yeah, hopefully we get to see some around. I have a feeling we will.
We will.
If you're watching or listening on either YouTube or audio, let us know. Drop a comment or send us a message on social. Let us know what you think about the new Lamborghini Revuelto. Be curious.
Indeed.
Let's move on to another car. Let's go from a Lamborghini to a Hyundai.
Okay.
Oh, that's lovely. We're just going to quickly chat about the new 2024 Hyundai Sonata, because it's getting a refresh or a redesign or an update. A mid-cycle update, as they call them.
Right.
First impressions. What do you think?
First question, are they only refreshing the exterior?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
They're getting rid of one engine, but it's irrelevant.
Okay, interesting. Overall design, look, first impressions. What is that light bar? What the heck?
That is Hyundai's design language.
Huh.
Would you like to turn into RoboCop?
Initially, I'm like, oh, it's a Lucid. Oh, no, that's not even close. What is that? That's a weird Hyundai. Huh.
All right, let me talk you through the refresh. They're giving it a new look that does fall in line with some of their other recent redesigns, like the Kona crossover, apparently their van, the Staria, and a Grandeur sedan. They've reshaped the headlights and the taillights, as you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone for the LED strip look across the front and the rear. You get a much more aggressive front fascia, which I must say I don't mind the more aggression.
It does look like the Kona in the, what was the other one you said?
The Sonata.
Yes. It
It
does
looks
look
like a Kona and Sonata, or a Kona and an Elantra.
Yeah.
Like the Elantra N and a Kona had a baby, and is the Sonata.
I don't think it looks terrible.
I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's good, but I'm not going to say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's an update. You get some updates to the rear. You get new wheel designs, which I do think that the wheels make the car.
They do look like they're moving while it's sitting still.
I think quite literally just a different wheel totally and drastically changes the entire aesthetic appearance of a vehicle.
Are you a fan of the new rear brake bar?
Yeah. Not my favorite, but yeah.
Just make
it's a
goofy
thing.
noises. I understand.
You understand what I'm saying with those noises.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
It's there.
It looks okay from certain.
I'm not going to say it's bad.
No.
I'm not going to say it's good, but I'm not going to say it's bad.
I would say it looks good from certain angles. I kind of like the rear, kind of. The front is just quite the Kona. It's just a Kona.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. If we go into the interior, they have redesigned the interior. You get this giant screen, which is just two screens.
Yeah, I see that.
A giant screen that's kind of two screens. Now, they did rearrange things. Do you see a gear shift?
No.
You know where it's at?
No.
It's a stock now by the steering wheel.
Yikes.
So Mercedes has been like that for years. I absolutely hate it.
It's
a
Hyundai Sonata.
Gear shift
What do you
on
want?
A stock.
It's a Hyundai Sonata.
I want a gear shift.
What car enthusiast buys a Hyundai Sonata?
None. But I still
Exactly.
want it to have a gear shift.
Why? Why
'Cause-
does somebody who's not into cars need a gear shift?
Because it's a car. It needs a gear shift.
Your grandma does not need a gear shifter.
My
She
grandma's
doesn't.
dead.
Oh, she doesn't need one. The point is being made. She doesn't need a gear shifter.
But
She-
it's got one, though.
It would probably work better.
But wait a minute now. If they're going to get rid of the gear shift, then just do like the other thing that everyone does, make them buttons.
I'm not opposed to that either.
I'd rather buttons than a stock. Because a stock... If you're going to put the gear shift up by the steering wheel, make it like a good old-fashioned grab hold of a 3 on the tree.
Oh,
If
sounds
you're
all
going to put it like a
mechanical.
stock, that looks like it's a turn signal.
no, they're not. They're not putting 3 on the tree. Get my Crown Vic shifter out and clank
Clunk,
it
clunk.
around. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Is that in gear? I don't know. Let me play with it a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not the demographic that buys this car does not care at all about where the gear shifter is or how it works. They just need to find the button to put it into drive, and they need to go from point A to point B. And this is a tool for them to go from point A to point B. They could care less about anything else. They don't care about who's on the road, anyone else. It is a tool to go from one destination to the next.
I hate that people treat cars like that.
That's just what it is.
Hate it. Oh, good news! You get new colors, too.
Great. What are we talking?
You get Biophilic Blue Pearl,
Ooh.
Ultimate Red Metallic, and the most popular color that you and I will see is Cream Beige.
For your grandma to buy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guarantee it's going to have that interior. A beige interior with a beige exterior. Would you like beige on beiger?
Yep.
How much beige would you like?
That would be the one that sells the best.
That's the one that here in Sarasota, Florida, we will see most commonly.
Okay.
A beige on beige Hyundai Sonata.
Here's my problem with this car. If grandma's going to buy this car, she's not going to use the touchscreens. She's just...
Well, Hyundai's going to make her or kill her.
I guess so. I guess that they're just going to have to figure out how to use modern tech. Here's a massive phone that you've never used to make your car do stuff.
So then what is the grandson going to... How can the grandson put tape and paper over all the buttons that they're not going to use? Because that's what you have to do to the old person's remote control.
Right.
Like my grandparents, before they passed away, you should have seen the remote control for the TV. We had paper taped over like 98% of all the buttons. There were like 3 buttons left exposed of you are only allowed to press this one, this one, this one, and this one.
Power, channel, and volume. That's it.
That's all you get.
Nothing
Because as soon as you start touching inputs and all closed captions and auxiliary, oh my God, the TV stops working.
God forbid they go into Netflix or something. You're doomed.
Jesus,
you're
you're
doomed.
done. You've had it.
Yeah.
So how is the grandson going to be able to put so much paper over this that then it still stays functional?
I see there are a few analog buttons remaining, right? I see AC looks like an analog-ish, as well as what looks to be all the AC controls and the seat stuff. I don't know how we're going to deal with anything up in the touchscreen. I don't know. Unless it's all on the wheel, driven by the little, scrolly wheels and everything. That's a disaster. That's never going to work.
Doomed.
Yep. Doomed. I don't know. This is not just a Hyundai problem, to be clear. All manufacturers are going toward the giant monitor.
Oh, you're for sure correct.
Yeah.
You're 1,000% correct.
But the demographic of what this car is built for is generally either someone who cares nothing at all about cars, which is fine, nothing against them.
That's
it's just
the average Hyundai driver.
Right, it's just a tool. Or somebody who's much older and just wants a cheap car as a tool, and that's fine as well. But you got to keep in mind the demographic that you're going for.
I'm not that demographic.
No, probably 98% of people listening to this are not that demographic.
Yeah.
And that's just fine.
Yeah. They did lose the smallest little 1.6 liter turbo inline-4 engine. That's gone.
Okay.
You keep the naturally aspirated 191 horsepower 2.5 liter. And then you also get the hot version, a 290 horsepower turbocharged 2.5 liter. That's for the N line.
They took away the turbo and they added displacement?
They took away the small turbo.
Right. It was like a 1.6 liter, and then
They had a
1.6
1.6 liter turbo.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 2.5 liter NA. Then they had a 2.5 liter turbo.
Okay.
So they kept the 2.5 liter NA and the 2.5 liter turbo, but they're also keeping, I think you can get the Hyundai Sonata in a hybrid. I think they're going to keep you with the 192 horsepower hybrid setup as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, who cares?
Huh. Okay. I think that this is probably a good refresh for them. It does modernize this car, considering this car did look not at all compared to what the modern car. It did not look like a Kona at all previously.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a good refresh for it. Kind of odd that it's a mid-cycle refresh. I know that for traditional manufacturers like this, that is generally frowned upon. They try to just come out with it as a
whole new car.
Yeah, a whole new model in general. The Sonata name, though, is so well ingrained in the Hyundai culture, in quotes.
Side question. Why can people not keep track of Honda and Hyundai?
2H and 2 foreign.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I hear so many people say that they have a Honda Sonata. The owner of the car.
Really?
Yes. What kind of car do you drive? I drive a Honda Elantra.
Oh, boy.
I drive a Hyundai Civic.
I have not heard that often.
I have heard that.
Wow.
And I just go, ah.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yes. I like the refresh. Do you like the refresh?
I don't hate it. It looks better than the current Sonata.
Yeah.
I will give it that. It looks much better than the current Sonata.
Yep.
I'm not going to buy one, but it looks better.
No.
So I'm going to leave it at that.
Sounds good.
Let's move on to a pickup truck.
A pickup truck?
Let's talk my language now. The language of Florida man.
Oh, boy.
Brother.
Don't tread on me, brother.
Brother.
All right.
All right, so Chevrolet, the Silverado 1500 ZR2. It's kind of like an off-roady Chevy Silverado.
So there's a ZR1.
No, not for a Silverado.
That's only Corvettes?
Yes.
Dang it. All right.
You get no ZR1.
I'm not a truck guy. I'm just asking the questions.
You're correct. So the Silverado ZR2 is like an off-roady Silverado. Kind of think almost like a Raptor, but like a baby Raptor sort of thing.
All right.
Like not quite full Raptor, but Raptor-ish. Right? They're giving the option to put a turbo diesel into it instead of the monstrous, just giant, huge 6.2 liter V8.
Huh. So it was a gas 6.2 liter. Now you can put a turbo diesel in it?
Yeah, so I'm not going to talk too much about this, but it's up for discussion. So the ZR2 comes standard with a, 420 horsepower, 6.2 liter V8.
420 horsepower.
A lot of horsepower, a lot of displacement, a lot of cylinders, right?
Okay.
But now Chevy is giving the option of putting a smaller 3-liter turbo diesel Duramax. That's I think it's a V6 turbo diesel? It's not telling me. It may actually be. It's not
Interesting that
V6
it goes from a 6.2 to a 3-liter.
That's many more turbo-ish to it.
The
I guess.
displacement difference there is massive. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So the thing is you lose a lot of horsepower.
How much?
You get 420 horsepower in the 6.2-liter V8. In the small baby Duramax diesel, the 3-liter Duramax, you get only 305 horsepower. You lose 115 horsepower. But let's flip the script. Let's talk about torque.
Uh-oh.
Because in the V8, you get 460 pound-feet. But in the turbo diesel, that 3-liter turbo diesel, you get almost 500 pound-feet of torque.
So take the horsepowers and swap it to the torques.
A bit, yeah.
That's pretty much what happened.
Pretty much.
Huh.
So, here's my conclusion. If you get the Chevy Silverado ZR2, the 1500 ZR2, if you take it for like high-speed off-road runs, get the V8. If you take it for slower, more technical rock crawling, get the diesel.
What's better for towing?
The diesel.
That's what I thought.
But this isn't a truck that you tow with. This is an off-road truck.
Okay.
Right? Like, you're not going to get the Raptor to tow a giant RV because the suspension isn't tuned to be able to handle to tow that. It's just such a softer suspension, so it'll just... It's like towing an RV with mashed potatoes.
Okay.
You got to tow it with a potato that's not mashed.
Right. Something stiff in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So if you had to pick between the gas and the diesel version of this truck, what would it be?
The diesel.
Why?
So I could roll coal on every Tesla I find.
Okay. You can do that in your Volkswagen if you get a diesel.
I did with my old Volkswagen.
There you go.
It rolled coal. It was amazing.
Why else would you get the diesel?
To piss off Greta Thunberg.
Is that the only reason?
The biggest reason. But because it's torquey. Because you could tow more race cars with it.
Okay. So you could beat the gas engine off the line. And then at 40 miles an hour...
60.
You'd get beat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think for the stuff that we do here, you need more torque than horsepower for off-roady stuff.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So the whole reason I bring this up is because it begs the question. Should they have given you the option for a diesel in the Raptor or the Ram TRX or the Ram Rebel?
That's a darn good question, actually.
It begs the question.
I never thought about a diesel Raptor before. Because you only think about the Raptor always being a gas truck.
You see my point. So right now, Ford and Dodge have both also offered like a smaller baby version of their Super Duty diesel engines in their regular size trucks, like the F-150 or the Ram 1500. Like a smaller version of the Power Stroke and the Cummins diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Should they have given that as an option in the Raptor and like the Ram Rebel?
I don't know. Would a Cummins Raptor do well? That's what I'm trying to
Power
think.
Stroke Raptor?
Yeah.
You're getting your brands wrong, man.
I know. I'm just trying to think of like, that's when I think of a big diesel pickup truck. That's what I think of. Cummins is the brand of the engine, right?
Yes, but that's with Dodge.
Yeah. I know it's with Dodge. I know. But I'm trying to think of taking that motor, putting it in a Raptor. Would it?
You'd put the Power Stroke in the Dodge.
Would that be a good truck?
That's the question. I don't know.
I don't think so.
See, it's a hard pondering question. Because as soon as I saw this, that's the first thing that came to mind was like, Chevy's doing it. Should Ford and Dodge do a diesel in an off-road truck?
I think people would eat up a diesel Raptor.
Why?
That's what I don't know. That's the question I'm trying to figure out.
Just because?
Some guys are just truck guys, and it's just because. Like you were saying, you would run a roll call in the Tesla. Okay, sure, that's fine. You're a truck guy. That's totally fine. But practicality-wise, I don't know if it makes sense, but I also don't know that it doesn't not make sense.
And that's that's the problem. It makes sense, but it doesn't all at the same time. Because you'll get way better fuel economy.
Right, in theory.
Like, there's people with, like, full-size, like, Ford Super Duty pickups with a 6.7-liter turbo diesel Power Stroke engine that are getting, like, 28 to 30 miles per gallon.
And have 500,000 miles on them. Yeah.
Like, that's impressive.
The gas engine would struggle with that.
That very much so.
And you're not going to get the reliability. It's like almost a guarantee.
It's a hard question to answer.
I just never think of a Raptor being a diesel truck.
And I never thought of an off-road Chevy 1500 ZR2 as being a diesel truck either. Mm-hmm.
I mean, why don't I just go full ZR1 and put the diesel in the Corvette and we'll call it a day.
Someone did swap, I think it was what was it? Someone did swap, I think it was a Dodge Cummins into a Mustang.
Oh, they put them in Teslas. They put them in everything.
It's fantastic.
It's insanity.
It's like 1,000 foot-pound of torque.
It looks like the hardest project ever.
Yes.
But awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
What's
the verdict? Should Ford and Dodge have put a diesel in their off-road trucks?
Yes.
I can't agree or disagree. I think yes as well.
The more I think about it, the more I lean yes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The truck guys will eat it up.
I'm with you.
And
you get a lot of torque. You get a ton of torque. A ridiculous amount of torque.
I don't know that the Raptor needs more torque, but sure.
Who doesn't?
We'll never know until they do it.
Yeah, I suppose. So if you're watching on YouTube or listening on audio, let us know in the comments or via social. Should they put a diesel in the Raptor or the Ram Rebel? Curious to know your thoughts. And that's all we got for episode 197. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you are watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button for us. Hang on with us and enjoy the ride. If you're listening on audio only, follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.